He was different than everybody else because I couldn't see his face. There was so much light or energy coming from him that I couldn't make out what he looked like. And my mind said to me, or somebody said to me, "This is Jesus." And he spoke to me and he said,
"You must tell them there is no death."
And right after he said that, I woke up back in the hospital.
What happens when the line between life and death is crossed? John J. Davis knows the answer. After a tragic accident and 7 minutes of clinical death, John returned with an astonishing, detail-filled testimony of the afterlife, one of the most vivid accounts ever shared. From breathtaking celestial halls to an unforgettable encounter with Jesus, his journey reveals secrets that challenge everything we think we know about life beyond this world. Before we dive into this incredible account, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more captivating testimonies that bridge the seen and unseen. Let's journey into the unknown together. John Davis was 21 when a moped accident set the stage for his near-death experience. During a routine surgery to treat his injuries, John had an allergic reaction to the anesthesia, causing his heart to stop. But while his body lay lifeless on the operating table, John found himself standing in a place beyond comprehension. "I opened my eyes and was standing in the most beautiful building I'd ever seen," John shared. This was no ordinary structure. It resembled a grand temple with gleaming white marble columns and intricately carved tables. The environment exuded peace and majesty, unlike anything he had ever experienced on Earth. Before he could make sense of it all, a figure appeared. He said, "I'm your spirit guide. My name is Alan." Alan told me, "I'm your guide, and I've been with you throughout your entire life. My job is to help you understand what's happening." It was then that I realized none of us walk through life alone. We all have guides, people or beings sent to support us on our journey. Alan led John to a round building where he experienced a phenomenon known as a life review. Large screens surrounded him, each showing different stages of his life. One screen showed me as a baby, another as an infant, another in elementary school, John recounted. It displayed my entire life up to that point. I could feel the emotions, hear the conversations, and see the impact of my actions on others. Alan explained that life reviews serve as a way for souls to reflect on their earthly journey, not as punishment, but as a tool for growth. "It's not about judgment," John said. "It's about understanding how your actions ripple through the lives of others." John's journey didn't stop at his current life. Alan showed him glimpses of previous lifetimes, each offering unique insights into his soul's evolution. In one life, I was a monk. In another, I was a shoe peddler, pushing a wheelbarrow full of shoes. In yet another, I was a fisherman, providing food for a small village with my wooden boat and net. These past lives weren't random. They were deeply connected to the lessons his soul needed to learn. Each lifetime had its purpose, and seeing them gave me a broader understanding of my journey as a soul, John explained. Next, Alan took John to a gigantic library, a repository of universal knowledge. The library was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Rows of books stretched infinitely, and the atmosphere was filled with wisdom and serenity. Inside, John saw a woman with long, jet-black hair watching a flat-screen display of an ancient battle between Native American Plains tribes and the U.S. cavalry. I remember thinking, how can she be watching something that happened 200 years ago? Alan explained, everything that has ever happened is recorded. Nothing is lost. This revelation left John in awe. Even now, I can't comprehend how it's possible, but I believe it's a God thing. Time, events, and experiences are preserved in ways far beyond our earthly understanding. The library wasn't just a place to observe history. It was a living archive where every soul's journey, every decision, and every emotion were documented. John felt humbled by the magnitude of what he was witnessing. It made me realize how connected we all are and how much responsibility we have in shaping our shared story. Alan continued to guide John, taking him to a majestic castle. Its grandeur surpassed anything he had ever imagined, with gleaming towers and radiant light that seemed to emanate from its very structure. Inside, John encountered another mysterious figure, a woman with strawberry blonde hair who radiated kindness and wisdom. She approached me and asked, "Is there anything I can help you find?" John recalled. At that moment, he was overwhelmed by the enormity of what he was experiencing. I could have asked her anything about life, the universe, or the afterlife, but all I said was, "No, thank you. I'm just looking." Even decades later, John reflects on that moment with a mix of regret and wonder. Here I was, standing in a heavenly realm with infinite knowledge at my fingertips, and I didn't take the opportunity. But I believe I'll have that chance again someday. John's journey reached its climax when he was led to the most beautiful garden he had ever seen. The colors were vibrant and otherworldly, with flowers and trees that seemed to pulse with life. It was here that John encountered a figure he instinctively knew was Jesus. He was clothed in a radiant white robe with a golden sash, and his presence exuded love and peace, John said. He looked at me and said, "You must tell them there is no death." These words carried a profound truth that transcended religious boundaries. Jesus conveyed to John that death is not the end, but a transition to a greater existence. The fear of death is an illusion. Life continues in ways more beautiful and complete than we can imagine. Jesus also emphasized the importance of love and forgiveness. He told me that the greatest lesson we can learn is to love one another unconditionally. That's the essence of our purpose here on earth. After what felt like an eternity in the heavenly realm, John was told it was not his time to stay. Alan and Jesus both told me I had a mission to fulfill on earth, he explained. I was sent back to share what I had experienced and to remind people of their eternal nature. When John opened his eyes in the hospital, he was surrounded by astonished medical staff. They told me I had been clinically dead for 7 minutes, but to me, it felt like I had been gone for days, maybe even weeks. The transition back to his earthly life was jarring. Coming back felt heavy. The world seemed so much darker and denser compared to the light and love I had experienced on the other side. John's near-death experience leaves us with lessons that are both profound and simple to understand. The first is that life doesn't end with death. What we think of as the end is really just a doorway to a greater, more beautiful existence. John came back with a deep understanding that our souls are eternal. They continue to grow, learn, and experience love far beyond what we can imagine here on earth. Another powerful lesson from John's journey is that everything we do matters. During his life review, he saw how every word he spoke, every choice he made, and even the smallest gestures of kindness or harm rippled through the lives of others. It wasn't about punishment or judgment. It was about understanding how deeply connected we all are. John realized that our actions carry weight, and we have the power to shape the world around us for better or worse. But perhaps the most important takeaway from John's experience was what Jesus told him. Love is the ultimate purpose of life. It's not about material success or the fleeting moments we often chase. True fulfillment comes from loving one another unconditionally, forgiving freely, and living with compassion. This is what truly matters, both here and in the life to come. When John returned to the physical world, it wasn't easy for him to adjust. He had been in a place of pure light, love, and peace, and coming back to earth felt heavy and overwhelming. Yet, he understood he had been sent back for a reason: to share what he had learned and to help others see that there is nothing to fear about death. Today, John's testimony continues to inspire countless people. He often says that he doesn't have all the answers. What he experienced was beyond human comprehension. But he knows this: life is a precious gift. Love is the key to everything, and death is not the end. Thank you for staying with us this far. What are your thoughts on John's incredible testimony? Do you believe his experience sheds light on what lies beyond? Or does it raise even more questions for you? We'd love to hear your take in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.